The Hindu, June 5, 2023, Monday. Railway Board alleges signaling interference, seeks CBI probe. Railway Board alleging that there is a signal interference which must have led to the ghastly accident. And in this regard, they are demanding for a CBI probe. They seek CBI probe. Railway Board is believing there is a fishy in the accident episode. It is not a technical problem, it is wantedly done something else, and which caused interference in the signaling. And for this to probe into the entire episode, they are seeking for a CBI probe, Central Bureau of Investigation probe, to find out the uh, total causes of the accident which led to the accident, in which about 270 people have lost their life, 275, and about 1,000 people have grievously injured. The railway board has recommended a probe by the Central Bureau of Investigation into the devastating multi-train collision in Balaswari district of Orissa. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said on Sunday. Railway Minister Vaishnav said on Monday, a probe, the railway board is seeking for a probe into to investigate into the devastating multi-train collision. It is a collision involving multi-trains, number of trains, that is more than two, in which hundreds of people, at about 270 people have lost their life, and 1,000 people have been hospitalized for having grievous injuries. The railway board has recommended, they are recommending for a probe by the Central Bureau of Investigation into the devastating multi-train collision in Balasur district of Orissa. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said on Sunday, the board said that signaling interference had been identified as the main cause of the accident, which claimed 275 lives and left more than 1,000 injured. The railway board is basically identified. The board said that signaling interference had been identified. Into the initial probe that led to signaling interference had been identified by the railway board, which led to the accident in which 275 people have lost their life and about 1,000 people have been injured. It added that sabotage had not been ruled out, and hence there is a sabotage angle also to be looked in, that is also not ruled out. Anything may happen. Maybe it's wantedly done by some unscrupulous elements. It added that sabotage had not been ruled out. So at this stage, sabotage had not been ruled out. Keeping in mind the circumstances and administrative information received so far, the railway board is recommending a CBI inquiry for further investigation. Keeping in mind the circumstances and administrative information, whatever information they have received through administration officially received so far, the railway board is recommending, based on the information receiving through the administrative channels, the railway board is recommending for Central Bureau of investigation probe, for further investigation. Into the incident, Mr. Vaishnav told press persons in Bhubaneswar on Sunday evening. This was disclosed to the press persons in Bhubaneswar on Sunday evening. At the accident site earlier in the day, he said the Commissioner of Railway Safety had completed its investigation. At the accident site, he told earlier, Commissioner of Safety completed its preliminary investigation. The root cause of the collision had been identified as a problem in electronic interlocking the operational signaling system for this stretch of the track. He said the people responsible for the error had been identified. The real root cause of the collision had been identified as a problem. It is a problem in electronic circuit interlocking system, the operational signaling system for this stretch, the Balasori stretch, has been identified some problem in the interlocking system which led to the ghastly accident, and the people responsible, whoever is responsible for this error, had been identified. Three-member panel to probe ethnic violence in Manipur. Three-member panel, a panel consisting three members, is going to probe into the ethnic violence. The violence occurred in Manipur, the ethnic violence. The union government on Sunday appointed a three-member commission of inquiry headed by Ajay Lamba, former Chief Justice of the Guwahati High Court. Former Chief Justice of Guwahati High Court to investigate the ethnic violence. The violence occurred between the different regional groups, ethnic groups, languages groups, ethnic violence in Manipur that has claimed 98 lives so far and displaced about 35,000 people. The ethnic violence, that is the root cause of at about 98 people leaving their lives and 35,000 people have displaced. The union government on Sunday appointed a three-member commission headed by Ajay Lamba. He is the former Chief Justice of the Guwahati High Court to investigate the ethnic violence in Manipur that has claimed 98 lives so far and displaced over 35,000 people. A notification issued by the Union Home Ministry said that the commission shall submit its report to the central government as soon as possible, but not later than 6 months from the date of its first sitting. Its headquarters will be in Imphal. A notification has been issued in this regard that the commission shall submit its report to the central government as soon as possible, but not later than 6 months. That means within 6 months, its report will be submitted to the Central Home Ministry for further action, and its headquarters has notified. Imphal is its headquarters. Imphal has been notified as its headquarters, the commission's headquarters. The other two members of the commission are Himanshu Shekhar Das, retired IAS officer from the 1982 batch of the Assam Meghalaya cadre, and Aloka Prabhakar, a 1986 batch retired IPS officer of Telangana cadre. Two officers, one officer from IAS of 1982 batch, Mr. Shekhar Das, and another officer, 1986 IPS officer of Telangana cadre, and Alok Prabhakar. He is Alok Prabhakar. He is also retired IPS officer 1986 from Telangana cadre. They both have been appointed apart from the retired Chief Justice, retired Chief Justice of Guwahati High Court, uh, to investigate into the whole incident, uh, in which about 99 people have lost their life, in which at about 35,000, 98 people have lost their life, and 35,000 people have been displaced. The terms of reference of the commission said that it would inquire into the causes and the spread of the violence and riots targeting members of different communities, the sequence of events, and whether there were any lapses or dereliction of duty on the part of any of the authorities or individuals responsible. The terms of reference of the commission said that it would inquire. It is going to inquire into the causes and the spread of the violence, how violence has spread, and riots targeting members of different communities, targeting the violence spreading across the state, targeting different communities of different communities, the sequence of events one after one, and whether there were any lapses, there were any lapses of dereliction of duty by any officers of the part of any of the authorities. Is there any dereliction of duty is involved, or otherwise any lapses by any individual or officers or individuals are responsible? All these things have to be looked after. uh, these are the terms of reference was commission terms of the reference that was fixed. These officers, IAS officer, retired IPS officer, retired IAS officer, and a Chief Justice, inquiry commission constituted by these members will look after, will carefully observe there is any dereliction of duty or otherwise uh, lapses by any by authorities or individuals. All but one of reserved passengers from the state traced, says Botsa. Botsa Satyanarayan Garu was telling, all the passengers involved in the accidents has been traced except one candidate. All but one reserved passenger. All these passengers, those who have reserved, has been traced except one person they unable to contact. Education Minister Botsa Satyanarayana has said that bearing one passenger, all other reserved passengers from Andhra Pradesh who were traveling in the ill-fated trains were traced. All the passengers, except all the reserved passengers, except one passengers, have been traced so far. One person from Santa Bommali in Srikakulam district died in the accident. That one person is from Santa Bommali, has Santa Bommali in Srikakulam district died in the accident. Addressing a media conference here on Sunday, Mr. Satyanarayana, who is monitoring the situation from Visakhapatnam, said that 513 reserved passengers in Coromandel and 270 in Yeshwantpur, Howrah had travelled from Andhra Pradesh. Addressing media conference, Bossa Satyanarayana in Visakhapatnam, he was addressing the media, who was monitoring the whole situation from sitting in Visakhapatnam control room, said that about 513 reserved passengers in Coromandel and 270 Yeshwantpur, Howrah had travelled from Andhra Pradesh. Of the 783 reserved passengers, only one could not be traced. So far, 783 reserved passengers have been identified, except one person that might be a person from Santabamali has died in the mishap. He said that telephone contact has been established with the remaining 781 reserved passengers. All the passengers has been identified and all the passengers have been contacted through their telephone numbers. Of the 22 injured, 11 were discharged. 22 total 22 are discharged. Out of 22, 11 have been discharged after treatment. 9 were undergoing treatment at various hospitals. The remaining 9 people were undergoing treatment in various hospitals in Visakhapatnam. One more injured was being brought from Bhubaneswar to Visakhapatnam. One more person who has injured has been brought from Bhubaneswar to Visakhapatnam for treatment in Apollo Hospital. He said that the Chief Minister had deputed Minister Z. Amarnath to Balasore, and help desks were opened at the collectorates in various districts to receive information from stranded passengers. He said that the Chief Minister had deputed the Minister Amarnath to Balasore, and help desks were arranged in different collectorates opened at the collectorates in various districts to receive information from stranded passengers. Anyone having information on passengers from the unreserved coaches could contact the help desk, he said. Apart from this, some people, those who are traveling in general compartments, those who are traveling without having any reservation, they can contact these help centers for further follow-up action. Could contact the help desk, he said. Ashwini Vaishnav lauds AP action to trace tragedy victims. The railway minister was lauding AP Andhra Pradesh action. Whatever action has been initiated by Andhra Pradesh, that was receiving applause from the railway minister in tracing the tragedy victims. Quickly they swung into the action, deployed the Minister Amarnath to Balasore, and the collectorates and the help desks have been arranged in different districts for tracing the injured persons, reserved and unreserved persons. This was received appreciation from the Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. The Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav on Sunday appreciated the measures taken by the Andhra Pradesh government to identify the passengers from the state who were on board the 2 trains that had met with the accident in Varisa and shipped the injured to various hospitals. Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav on Sunday appreciated the measures, the action taken by the Andhra Pradesh government to identify the passengers from the state who were on board the 2 trains that had met with the accident in Varisa and shipped the injured to various hospitals. The Union Minister's words of praise came when State IT Minister Gudivada Amarnath held discussions with him on the issue in Cuttack. Gudivada Amarnath, the minister from the state, the minister from Andhra Pradesh, he had a meeting with the railway minister in Cuttack. In his conversation, the railway minister was applauding about the quick action of the Andhra Pradesh government in tracing the injured persons, reserved and unreserved category. Mr. Amarnath, in a statement, said he explained to the railway minister the steps initiated to trace the passengers from Andhra Pradesh and shift the injured to hospitals. Amarnath, in a statement, said he explained in detail to the railway minister whatever steps have been taken by the state government uh, from Andhra Pradesh, shifting the injured to the hospitals for further treatment. He said control rooms were set up at various places in the state so that relatives would pass on information and even forward photographs of the victims through WhatsApp. Today, we are having facility of WhatsApp. With this, the relatives of the injured persons, they can send the photographs so that quickly they can send passes the information to the help desk. So that is helpful to evaluate, to take up further actions. Mr. Amarnath said the railway minister directed the officials to note the relief measures initiated by the state government. Amarnath said the railway minister directed the officials to note the relief measures initiated by the state government. The railway minister directed the officials to note the initiations, the measures taken up by the government. Whatever steps were taken by the state government in connection with bringing relief to the injured persons, these actions, initiatives were attracted by the railway minister. He directed the railway officials to note the measures. He also appreciated the government for constituting six-member committee. He also appreciated for constituting six-member committee led by a minister, Mr. Amarnath, and comprising IAS and IPS officers to monitor the situation at the accident spot. And about six-member committee was appointed by the state government, and Mr. Amarnath, under the leadership of Mr. Amarnath, the members involved are belonging from IAS and IPS category. Mr. Amarnath said he informed the union minister that 342 passengers from AP were traced. Amarnath informed to the railway minister that about 342 passengers have been traced. One person who died in the accident was identified and the body handed over to relatives. The government also announced ex gratia to the victims, he said. Phone cart bug. Police to help. Police is going to help uh, in a phone cart bug, in which phone was caught by bug. Anantapur police have launched a mobile health checkup camp at Clock Tower Junction in Anantapur city to check, remove viruses, and secure the data of residents' mobile phones. The Anantapur police, they have launched a mobile health checkup camp at Clock Tower Junction in Anantapur city to check, remove viruses, and secure the data of residents' mobile phones, because they are going to help the citizens, those who are having mobile phones and suffering with some viruses and data security. They are going to give some tips and then helping those people who are suffering with these ailments. Residents' mobile phones, the service part of the Cyber Kavach program is free. All these services have been provided by the police department, free of cost under the Kavach program. Anantapur Range DIG RN Ammireddy and Superintendent of Police Kanchi Srinivas Rao said the camp was launched on Thursday. The camp was launched on Thursday. Anantapur Range DIG and Superintendent of Police Kanchi Srinivas Rao both jointly disclosed, probably to the press people. It was launched on Thursday. Police personnel will also visit colleges and elect students who are the most prolific mobile phone users. And police, not only this, they have started a center at the clock tower, and they were planning to go to the colleges, visit various colleges, to elect students, to make students aware, sensitizing students. They're the most prolific phone users. Once we organize a one-off mobile health checkup camps in colleges and public places, we will think of a permanent facility service in this regard, said the SP. SP is planning to go to the colleges and institute for sensitizing students. They are the most affected places. They are the people in big chunks of people from student community only. Nowadays, the phone users, they are going to set up mobile checkups. Once after this thing successfully having accomplishing this task, they are going to set up a permanent. They are thinking to set up a permanent facility. It was disclosed by the Superintendent of Police. A virus can sometimes infiltrate a mobile phone without the user's knowledge, and sensitive data can fall into the hands of cyber criminals, resulting in many frauds. A virus can sometimes infiltrate without the notice of the user's knowledge of sensitive data. Sensitive can fall into it may fall into the hands of these unscrupulous elements, scrupulous cyber criminals, and resulting in many frauds. Later, with a view to commit more cyber crimes, these criminals will steal the data, valuable data. So to avoid this, they are sensitizing students and arranging mobile checkup points. After accomplishing the job successfully, they are planning to set up permanent station so as to provide this facility on permanent basis. Smart meter and pump farmers to step. Farmers are going to they are going on a agitation path for setting up smart meter and pumps. Farmers have decided to step up their protest against smart meters, as the YSRCP government is determined to install the meters on over 18 lakh farm pump, said Samyukta Kisan Morcha Prakasham district convener CH Rangarao. The farmers are in a agitation path and they're all against for installing smart meters. The YSRCP government is bent on they are planning to set up at about 18 lakh farm meters, farm pumps. It was disclosed by Samyukta Kishan Morcha Prakasam district convener CH Rangarao. He said the installation would turn out to be a hangman's noose for farmers in rain-fed areas and a political Waterloo for the YSRCP. He said the installation would turn out to be it is going to be a burden for the farmers in rain-fed areas. It is going to be a burden. Maybe it is going to use where rains are scanty, but it is going to be a burden for the farmers, those who are in rain-fed areas. And political water, it is going to be a big controversy for the YSRCP. Farmers in Raptadu and Somendapalli mandals in Anantapur district had taken the lead in removing the smart meters. He said, after felicitating farmers leaders M. Girish, R. Chandrasekhar, C. Nagaraju, B. Naga Muchalu, Raja Ramireddy, V. Kishan, C. Mallikarjun, and A. Katmaya from the drought-prone district. All these leaders have been felicitated, and uh, Raptadu and Somandapalli mandals, they have taken a lead by removing smart meters. They have held a felicitation program. After completion of this felicitation program, the farmers, they have removed smart meters from Raptadu and Somendapalli mandals in Anantapur district. The cost of electricity a unit is expected to go up 20 rupees in the future as the Jagan Mohan Reddy government encourages private power producers, said Mr. Girish. Because the Jagan Mohan Reddy government is encouraging private producers, it may lead to ultimately 1 unit of current to 20 rupees expected to go up